is J-Town, you can call me Jake, everybody does, and today we're just going to have a little bit more of a chilled out one. We're just going to have a chat, you and me. I like chatting with you. You like chatting with me? Why don't you like chatting with me? But like the daily videos evolve, if you've been around that long. When the lockdown first happened, I started this channel by doing like daily videos. We're just going to chat about what I've been playing lately, what I've been up to, and I'm going to tell you the games I've been playing, what I think about them, and then we're going to be just like a little update on the channel. I've been going back to my day job lately. You know, things have started to be picking up again. The real life is happening. So I haven't had a huge amount of time to play a lot of games, but there's been a fair few that I've got, a fair few plates I'm spinning at the moment, like game-wise. Generally, I kind of play a lot of games at once. I don't put my focus in one place because I like to have different games for relaxing in different ways, if that makes sense. Normally I have like at least one big one and one little one. The little one doesn't mean it's a smaller game, it just means that it's probably like less intense. I don't know, I guess you'll see when we start talking about them. But right now, game number one that I'm playing, as you probably could have guessed by all of the Mass Effect content I've been making, is Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I'm currently about halfway into Mass Effect 2. I'm at the part now where I could go to the Reaper IFF if I want, but obviously so that nobody dies, if you know, you know. I'm not going to the Reaper IFF yet. I've done a handful of loyalty missions and I'm just like getting all of those done, getting all my stuff upgraded, all my stuff leveled up. But I've been taking Legendary Edition really slow. I haven't had a lot of chances lately to like really like spam it. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I've had a day to spend on the console. Like that just hasn't been happening. So I've kind of been taking it real slow. Ben has already finished the entire Legendary Edition, front to back, like Mass Effect 3 included. And there's part of me that's really jealous of that, and part of me that's like kind of chill that I get to take my time with it, savor it, you know. I think for sure it helped that I was taking longer to play it, and I was like taking more time to digest it when I made those videos. You know, the one that was about how Mass Effect left gay men behind, and then also the one about who the hottest Mass Effect guys are. But it's just been really fun. It reminds me of all the reasons that I really liked it. It feels heavy in a lot of ways, and having played Mass Effect 3 and then Andromeda, from the first two games, what I really missed was like powers being more of an active thing in it, you know, like having biotic combos, tech combos. Was there another kind of combo? Was there weapon combos? Or is it just biotic combos and tech combos? Who knows? I don't know. But it feels like in 3 and Andromeda, like you were using powers a lot more often. The fact that there's like, you know, in Mass Effect 2, like a universal cooldown for all powers. Like once you've used throw, you have to wait for that little bar to close before you could use warp or whatever. Seems like it's just holding you back a bit, right? And I love using biotic powers. That's always what I go for. So yeah, I am looking forward to getting to 3, but Mass Effect 2 is probably my favorite game of the series, right? I just really love it. I'm so engrossed in like the world of Mass Effect, right? Like I love it. I think all the races are really cool. I think just like the concept of that kind of, you know, galactic wide civilization, it's just very sick. I really like it. I like the politics of it. I think it's a story about people denying that anything's bad is happening until it's right on their door is very current. But I must admit, having watched videos while I was making my own videos of different Commander Shepard situations and watching a lot of cutscenes with FemShep, with female Shepard in them, part of me wants to play Mass Effect 3 as female Shepard. I like being gay in Mass Effect, so I'm probably not gonna play a female Shepard. But her voice acting does sound really good. I've got to say, better than I think the male one is. Although I'll tell you what I have done while I'm playing Mass Effect 2, I'm just using the default Shepard model, because I think one thing that that was weird about Mass Effect and that the remaster didn't really fix was the custom character models aren't very good. Everyone looks pretty ugly, right? I can understand now why that's something that was quite heavily modded. But yeah, so this time, rather than struggling to try and make something that looked good, I just went with the default model. And you know, I'm kind of enjoying it. I've played as an adept in both of them. Like I said, love biotics. But I think before, the first playthrough I did when I used to play it, I would always play as a Vanguard because it had like that good combination of both, and it was like a little bit more defensive. I liked charge and stuff. That was cool. But yeah, this time I've been playing as an Adept. But the thing is, we're playing an Adept in two. Well, I chose an Adept based on my memories of the biotic powers from like 3 and Andromeda. But unfortunately now, in 2, like, Adepts just aren't as useful as you would think they would be because you can only use the powers like one at a time. They're all on the same cooldown of how often you can use a power. So that's a shame. You can't be like bang, bang, bang with 3 different powers that then start their own individual cooldowns. So really, playing an Adept doesn't feel anywhere near as good as it used to in Andromeda and 3. I really hope they put the multiplayer back in it because, like, I loved that. I loved that multiplayer. I was a huge fan. Like, last year, I got back into the Andromeda multiplayer. People are still doing it. People are still there. Like, it's very fun. Like, the kind of, you know, class unlocking and leveling up and stuff like that. I'm a big fan. So, who knows? Maybe they'll release that again. Who knows? I hope. I wonder if the Andromeda one is still going, to be honest. You'd think maybe they would just send people back to that. Or at least use those assets, use those servers. Anyway, the wait times for games are getting pretty long, so maybe that maybe that's not still going. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, this is going to sound like I'm just self-promoting all the way through this video, but I mentioned on Twitter recently that I had my first dose of the vaccine and I had some pretty bad side effects. I was pretty ill for like 2 days, like lightheaded, you know, muscle soreness and stuff like that. I was like fine. I didn't die. I just you know, I felt a little bit fluey, I guess you would say. I don't know. But while I was bedridden for that time, Ben, my boyfriend, took like the best care of me. He's so fucking brilliant. I'm so lucky. But I basically spent 2 days in bed, and we set up the Switch TV bracket to like the wall mounted TV in the bedroom so that I could just play that. And I loved it. I loved it. Like, going back to it and just being able to like sink into it for a full on like 10, 12 hours. Incredible. Like, really loved it. Like, so I would like play it for a couple of hours and then have a nap and then a couple more hours nap, And I just, yeah, really got into it. Obviously, I'm not going to go into it now, but like all of that discourse lately about weapon durability got me like, just thinking about how much I liked the game, how much I appreciated it. And I'll tell you what, like, I do have one theory on that. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. I'm not going to say what's right or wrong about weapon durability, right? But I found that going... The first time, I very much like let the game guide me, okay? So when you first come down from, is it Kakariko Village? I forget. I think it's Kakariko Village, after you've just seen Impa. You get down onto the plains, and basically right there is a Zora that's like, hey, you should go to Prince Sidon. Hey, you should go to Prince Sidon. He's over there. You should go over there. He needs to see you. He needs to see Hylian. This time, having played through the whole game and knowing how things went, I was like, no, I'm going to go get Rivali's Gale because that is the most useful power for getting around the map. So useful, so good. So I'm going to go there first. And I found myself fighting much like the jump in strength of enemies just on the map, of like bokoblins, stuff like that. They were all the black ones with like dragon bone weapons and stuff. Like, they really jumped. And now I'm wondering if people who hated weapon durability did what I did and ended up in the hardest areas of the map first, because I got through some weapons, I'll tell you that, because like you have to hit everything 1 billion times because you don't have any good weapons yet, and these are some of the strongest bokoblins in the game, right? Like, just generally the enemies knocking around were very strong. I think even on my way to the like Ruto, is it the race, on the way to their city, I had to go through a cavern that was like covered in flying guardians. Like, I didn't stand a chance. And so I'm kind of like thinking at the back of my head, there's an obvious path. There's complete freedom. The game tries to lead you in a certain way and show you what your first divine beast is, for sure. They try and give you your first divine beast. They try and tell you. But yeah. So now I'm like, I'm going to make that my next one, because if I go there and all the enemies are like the weakest kind of bokoblin, I'm going to think to myself, I'm going to have a little silly theory in my head that maybe people who hated weapon durability did what I just did and went to harder areas of the map first, so their weapons were just like tissue paper because they were useless, so you had to swing them 3 times as often to get half the effect, so then you were just like burning through them, right? But I just, replaying it again reminded me why I liked it so much. Like, if I know that like it shares a lot of the same features as other sandboxes, like the map scouting towers and a bit of crafting and stuff like that, but a lot of what it does happens in such fresh ways that I find it so refreshing in comparison to all the other sandboxes that it's standing next to. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't really craft so much as like the cooking I liked, because there's like a little bit of do it yourself to it in terms of the ingredients you use, the amount, the ones you combine. There's no like materials gathering is still, it's a little bit more open-ended. Do you know what I mean? I'm taking a lot more pictures of stuff with the Sheikah slate this time as well, which is kind of fun. But yeah, it really, replaying Breath of the Wild definitely comforted me again. Comforted me through being ill. Replaying it again comforted me through being ill from my first vaccine dose. Which I'm so glad I finally have. It feels like the beginning of the end of this whole pandemic thing, right? To like finally have my first dose of the vaccine. It's not that much longer until I have my second. Yeah, which I guess makes sense for me to do a little vloggy video like this, like it was one of my old dailies, to talk about how, like, you know, the pandemic's still happening, but now I'm on the way out, right? Like, maybe I should be doing a little watch of my first couple of pandemic videos sometime, just going all the way back, and once it's over, maybe once I've got my second vaccine dose, we can watch a couple of my first videos and have like a little react. Maybe that'd be a fun live stream or something, just watching some of my very first videos together. That'd be kind of fun, right? But irrelevant. Let's talk about games. So my procrastination game at the moment, so the game I'm playing on my PC, like in my lunch hours and stuff like that, that then end up carrying, my lunch hours end up carrying over a little bit, is Faster Than Light, FTL Faster Than Light. I think it's quite an old game now. I think it might be like 2012, but I got it super cheap. I think it was just like a couple of quid when I bought it. It was in a Steam sale or something like that, and I just found it so fun. Like, and since going back to it again, because I just saw it in my library, I used to play it on my Mac while I was traveling for work, and now I have this. I've like looked back in Steam and been like, what have I got? What can I play that I don't need to buy? And Faster Than Light was in there. I was like, hey, let's give it another go. And yeah, it's fun. Like, it's one of those things that like you can get through it on luck by not really getting too involved in it, like involved. But now I'm like involved, like I'm really enjoying being into it a little bit more depth, reading the wiki and stuff like that. That's very me. Like I'll enjoy a game a little bit, and then I'll like start reading the wiki. I'll start getting all the information out of it, pulling all of the like optimizations out of it, the best thing for this, the best thing for that. And yeah, it's just been very, very fun playing it. If you haven't played it, I think it's still pretty cheap. Like, I would really recommend picking it up. Faster Than Light. It's basically like a little roguelike type thing where you take control of a crew on a ship, and you oversee like the ship's systems and where power is directed into what systems and stuff like that. And you go out and explore space. And like you work your way through maps that have random encounters in them that could give you benefits and materials, or may cost benefits and materials. You might get into fights and stuff like that. And it's really, really cool. And you can rename all your little like cast and crew and stuff like that. So I was thinking of like, doing a let's play of it soon, and maybe I could put some names of patrons as my crew or something. That'd be funny. But it was just like really fun. It's a really fun game, really fun game. It seems to be quite a slow burn, right? Like the amount of time I've put into it and the fact I've only locked 2 ships is very taxing. I want more ships now, and I don't know the quickest ones to unlock. So maybe that's another reading of the wiki session for me. And the very last game that I'm currently playing at the moment, Well, I mean, no, that's a lie. I'm also playing a little mobile game called Magic Survival, which is fun. But I don't really have any more to say about that because it's so simple. I'd recommend it. Play Magic Survival. It's Stardew Valley. It's Stardew Valley. I've got back into Stardew Valley, which has just been so nice. Stardew Valley is the nicest game, right? I play it on Switch. So what I'll tend to do is I'll maybe do a day or two on it every night before I go to sleep. It's replaced my Hades. I used to play Hades on handheld on the Switch, like just maybe like a run before going to bed each night. And now before going to bed each night, it's like a day or two on Stardew Valley, and it's just the sweetest. Like, I love it to pieces. I think as well, there's another thing that I'm like incessantly reading the wiki on. Like, I can't help but think like, oh, what vegetables are most profitable? What fish should I put in my ponds? Like, what should I be doing all winter? And I try not to, though, because part of having it there as like my wind down game is just like there's not like a completionist in me when I'm playing Stardew Valley. I just like spending time there. So I just like taking my time with it. I guess in the same way that I've been doing with Mass Effect, right? Like I said earlier in the beginning of this video, I'm sort of adjusting to enjoy the experience of playing the games that I'm playing rather than having to finish the games that I'm playing, right? Like, it's that kind of difference of like, I'm not trying to rush through things so that it's done, so that it's played. I'm just enjoying the time I get to spend in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it's nice. Maybe that's me getting older and slower, right? But my little farm in Stardew Valley, it's really cute. I love my little horse. I love my little dog. I married Alex. We've got 2 kids, and I have lots of pigs and sheeps and cows and goats and chickens and dinosaurs and ducks. And it's just nice. Also, I don't have to do any watering anymore because I front to back the place with Iridium sprinklers. So automation is the future, baby. I've got to collect all those golden walnuts now off of sorry. Yeah, I've got to collect all those golden walnuts on Ginger Island. But yeah, that's everything I'm playing right now. If you're playing any of them, let me know in the comments below. Like, are you playing Mass Effect? Are you playing Mass Effect? Are you playing Zelda? Are you playing Faster Than Light? Are you playing Stardew Valley? Maybe I should set up a multiplayer server on Stardew Valley at some point. That would be cute. Does it work like a server, or do you both have to be online? Or we should get a Minecraft server. Anyway, distracted. Yeah. Let me know what you're playing, because maybe I'll want to move on to a different game or something like that. I'd love to hear. Let me know in the comments what games you guys are playing at the moment, why you play them, how you play them. I would like that. I would like to read that, because then maybe it'll give me good inspiration for my next game. Because I'm a little burnt out on certain kinds of games at the moment. So like, it's kind of, I've gone back to what I know in a lot of what. God, that's every game on this list, isn't it? There's no new game on this list. I've gone back to what I know in every sense. Mass Effect has a remaster. I'm playing that because I know it. What was the other one? Breath of the Wild. Yeah, playing that because it was comfort while I was ill. Faster Than Light. Played that already. But yeah, give me some new game recommendations below. Based off that list, what do you think I'd like? What do you think I'd like to play right now? Let me have it. Let me have it. But speaking of, like, you know, burnout and stuff, that's kind of what the channel update is about, right? Like, as you may know from my Discord, where I've mentioned it, where I've been sort of like documenting when videos have been getting later, when videos have nearly been missed. I'm struggling right now to keep up the workload of running this channel to the capacity that I do, and also like my full-time job and stuff like that. So right now I'm taking some time off to focus a little bit more on getting like my routine back, right? Like getting myself back in the right frame of mind, and basically just fixing things up around here, right? Like, I think the pandemic has really left me with some bad habits and some lack of structure and stuff like that. So I'm when I say I'm taking time off, I mean that for a while I think the channel's probably going to be a little bit more chilled out, like this. Like, you remember back in the days when I was doing, you know, my daily videos, I was able to do my daily videos and have as much fun as I was having, because the videos took a lot less production, because the videos took a lot less research, a lot less scripting. I can't knock out, with where I am right now, I can't knock out one of my silly deep dives every week. And that's so sad, because I really wanted to see if I could find a place where they were doable. But I'm not really in a place to find that at the moment. So I still want to be able to keep this challenge I set myself, of having weekly videos through all of 2021. You know, like we're halfway there, right? Like, what is this now? Video 22 or something? Like, yeah, 23 maybe? Like, we're getting very close to the middle of the year. And I want to do it. I want to have a video every week. Part of that was like an accountability thing for me. Like, I want to be able to do it. I want to know that I can do it because I love doing this. And so I want to know that it will still be doable for me, even if I need to work my full-time, still be doable for me while I still work my full-time job that I love doing. So, yeah, I guess that's it, right? Is that like, I'm going to be sort of like taking some time off in the sense that I'm going to be making content that is easier for me to make for a few weeks. You know what I mean? So that I don't end up, you know, burning out and turning into a big ball of nerves about all the things I'm not doing and all the things I'm not hitting. I think it seems to be like a really common thing with a lot of creators that I follow closely on Twitter. Even if I don't talk to them, there are lots of creators who I like watching and I take inspiration from, and I like watching the journeys of, because I find it very inspiring to see other people succeeding. And there just seems to be a lot of it knocking around right now. I think there is that kind of clash of like going back into the real world after having been in the kind of indoor lifestyles we've been in for all this time. And yeah. So like, it's good news, right? Like, I'm going to be about, I'll be on the Discord and stuff like that. But there will kind of probably be an element of me like going quiet for a bit on social media and stuff, so I can spend a bit more time in the real world, spend a bit more time in my own brain. And yeah, it's good news. It's good news. So I don't want you guys to think that this is me coming on here to like to bum anyone out. But it's good news, right? Like, I love this channel. I love what we've got. I love how it's been growing, and I can't wait to see the future of it. But you know, you got to take care of number one. Okay, bye.